Good morning and happy Friday, Milwaukee. Happy Friday. You are listening to Community Heartbeat presented by Outreach Community Health Centers. I am Ebony Ssali. This is not just a show. This is a movement dedicated to bringing our community together through wellness, keeping your heart pumping with positivity. Listen, y'all, we got a lot going on today, so I'm excited. Happy Friday. Wake up, grab a second cup of coffee. You're going to have to talk back to me this morning at 414-444-5250. Last night, let me just do a quick recap. Last night we had an amazing event, so I got a little extra concealer on under my eyes this morning to be a little more bright-eyed. We celebrated a detective dinner, so like a murder mystery event to fundraise for our mobile health unit. Great attendance, great seeing Milwaukee show up and show out for us. Listen, because y'all know I get in the bed early. We've talked about the sleep will get slept. I got to circle back and see who did the crime, right? And who's doing the time. But a phenomenal event. Again, thank you to, I want to make sure I shout out 3 of our sponsors, major sponsors. Ascension, thank you for always answering the call for us to support the initiatives that we take care of out in the community. Anthem, again, thank you. We had Leroy Butler jerseys up for silent auction. So thank you for always supporting. And then we had UMOS. So again, thank you for supporting Outreach Community Health Centers, the initiatives that we push to bring health in our mobile unit out to the community. A couple of other things that are happening in the city. Please, please, please mark your calendar so that you don't blow my phone up saying that you didn't get an invite, you don't know about it. August 9th is Outreach's Community Health and Resource Fair from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. If you're interested in connecting with us, just check out the website, ochc-milw.org. And then finally, if we haven't been busy enough, they keeping me on my toes. We have an event for moms and families. So if you know a woman who is pregnant right now, will be delivering within this year, I'll say still in 2025, we want to invite you to our event, Healthy Hearts, Healthy Starts, on July 31st at Outreach Community Health Centers. And again, you can find that information on our website, ochc-milw.org. Couple other things going on in the city. But this weekend I'm resting. Can I be honest with y'all? I'm gonna rest because that's what my body calls for this particular weekend. Today we're closing out Men's Health Month. So, gentlemen, if you have not gotten in to get your physical health together, your mental health and emotional well-being together, this is Ebony, big sister, little sister, homie from around the way, telling you to make sure you take care of yourself. Now, we're going to rewind all that because, listen, most of the time, men, talking to you right out, talking to you, Debo, I'm talking to y'all this morning, I'm talking to y'all.
Yeah.
Most of y'all don't do what you're supposed to do unless the ladies in your life shake the finger and say, this is what you're supposed to be doing. Would I be right? Would that be a proper assessment?
That would be most accurate.
Okay.
That'd probably be most accurate for Debo.
Okay. So your mama, sisters, your girl, nobody is. Because you know they listening. So be careful. Be careful. You know they listening.
Was
and it was a Deirdre.
It's at least 2 people in this room that know your mother.
Mama told me there'd be days like this.
It sure would.
Yeah. It is here.
It is here. Yeah. It's here. Well, most men in our city have women that are looking out for them. And so today we're gonna talk about some women that are at the tippy top of the game and making sure that our communities are whole, our communities are well, and that they are bringing their empowerment, their power to the stage. So we will talk to them in just a couple of moments. But for the gentlemen and the ladies in your lives, stay tuned because we got some good stuff for you coming up. Before we jump into our full show today, let me remind you, if you've been putting off medical care because you're tired, because you got 500 things to do, no excuses. Our family medicine residency program has appointments as early as next week. So I want you to do me a favor. I want you to pause. I want you to think about why you've been putting off your health care. And then I want you to give us a call at 414-727-63 20 so that you can get in. So let me jump back to the ladies first. We got ladies first queued up. No, we don't, because I asked for that already. But you go sing it in your head. Ladies first. I have two powerhouse women in the studio with me today. Let me pull up the bios first, right? So I can introduce you two properly. Give me just a second. Give me just a second. Debo, you ready for me on that side?
It's
You ready
already
for
up
me?
on the
I
screen.
love it. Okay,
Play no
so
games.
at all, because it's Friday. In the studio with me, I have Lillian Lawrence, the president of the Local Business and Professional Women Federation of the Kojic and the International Vice President. Did I get that title right? Listen, boss status is what it is. Elevated leadership. Welcome to Community Heartbeat. And then I have Coach Erica Odom, the Community Projects Team co-leader, who also works as a social worker and a real estate investor, entrepreneur. Come on, resume. Come on, credentials. I absolutely love it. And ladies, you are taking up something very, very special this week. So I want you to tell the people what you are working on and why it's so impactful here in the city.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. I am Lillian Lawrence. And at Holy Redeemer, I'm the president of the Business and Professional Women's Federation. The federation began in the Church of God in Christ in the 1970s. There was a group of business and professional women that got together and a supervisor, and they decided that the church should have a new auxiliary.
Okay.
And so it began about 51 years ago.
Okay.
And Mother Bonnie McPeak is our national vice president now. She's located in Michigan. And Mother Barbara McCoo Lewis is our general supervisor. And of course, Dr. Valerie Daniels Carter is our pastor at Holy Redeemer Institutional Church of God in Christ at 3500 West Mother Daniels Way.
Come on. Services. Give me that first service. Get run down the service.
9:00 on Sunday morning. See you there.
I love it. I love it.
We have
Holy
about
Redeemer is broadcast on this radio station every Sunday morning at 11 a.m.
Listen, come
Yes,
on.
yes.
It's community, and I love it.
Yes, we have approximately 35 ministries there. And on Saturday, the Business and Professional Women's Federation will distribute over 100 hygiene kits to individuals in need at the repairs of the breach.
Okay.
A daytime refuge and resource center serving Milwaukee's unhoused community.
And the work is so critical because I think much of that community goes I won't say uncelebrated, but unacknowledged, right? So we know that there's a population in the city that is unhoused chronically. We know that there's a population who just don't have those basics, right? So you're stepping in and filling that gap. How did you come up with this project?
Well, Philippians 4:13.
Come on, word. Come on, word.
Says, I can do all things through Christ who strengthened me. And that's our scripture for the Business and Professional Women's Federation.
Okay.
And our creed is we care, we share, and we help.
Okay.
And we have one of our committees, we call it them teams, that is a community committee. And Coach Erica Odom is a co-chair of that community, committee, and also Dr. Tammy Mays Wilder is a co-chair as well. And so it's up to the committee to come up with ideas of how we can help in the community. And that's how they came up with that idea. So maybe Erica can.
Yes. So Coach Erica Odom, tell me how you connected to the organization as a whole, and then kind of what drives you in this work.
Yes. Good morning. So yes, as you mentioned, I just want to point out, yes, we are in a very much so chronic I would like to say, crisis when it
Mhm.
comes to the unhoused
Mhm.
and the things that are going on in the city of Milwaukee. And I
Yeah.
think it's so easy to see it, but not realize how deep it is.
Yes.
So I collaborated with the manager there, is how this kind of came about, and started having conversation about some of the people that they serve and the things that they offer as an organization. So they're more of like a daytime shelter
Mhm.
service provider for individuals who are unhoused. So we talked about, just kind of like some of the needs and things that they see when people are coming to their day shelter. So that's kind of how we collaborated and made that connection with the organization. But I don't know if people are aware, and I learned this from the manager. So in the surrounding areas of
Mhm.
actually where Repairs of the Breach is located, they refer to it as Tent City. Have you heard of that?
I have. I
Okay.
have. I
So
have.
I drove over there to
Yeah.
see myself,
Yeah.
like, what is Tent City?
Yeah.
What does this mean?
It's
What does
in
this
our
look
city, right?
like?
Right.
And you have to see it to understand the
Oh,
depth of the crisis and the chronic issue that we're in
it's
as
heart-wrenching
the
to see it.
individuals that
It
are
is.
in need.
It is. It
Absolutely.
is.
And so I talked went back to the group and we're like, well, what can we do? And so that's kind of how we talked about, creating the care packages as
Yeah.
something that, individuals in the unhoused population can have and utilize in some sort of fashion or way.
No, I love that. And when you mentioned Tent City, I thought back to when we hosted a couple of the conventions. So the first one was the Democratic Convention, and Tent City used to be under the freeway at Marquette,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
So I'm a Marquette alumnus, so that has been prevalent for decades, right? People who are unhoused, they have tents, and then they're sleeping under the bridge.
Mhm.
There was a concerted effort to move them out because people didn't like the way it looked.
Right.
Not to solve the problem,
Correct.
right? But to move it to a different place. So providing these hygiene kits, what is your goal for that? Because what I see is I see dignity, right?
Yes.
Like everyone deserves to be clean. Everyone deserves to have those toiletries that just make the difference. Like being
Right.
able to brush your teeth. We take that for granted. So what's your hope, I guess would be my question, in providing this essential
I
these
would
essential
say
supplies?
it is so providing the kid is the resource, right?
Mhm,
Providing that
mhm,
dignity.
mhm.
But I think it goes deeper than that.
Yeah.
It shows in action that somebody does care, even if you think no one cares about you. It's that opportunity to connect.
Yeah.
It's that opportunity to instill some sort of hope, maybe to an individual that don't have hope.
Yeah.
It's the opportunity to just kind of pour life into somebody. Life is a journey, but
Yeah.
along the journey, it's not really about us as the individual. It's
That's
about
true.
the people
That's
that we
true.
come in contact with,
That's
the connections that we make, the people that we love on. So we got to make it more about other people and not about just us as the individual.
Yes,
yeah,
I
yeah.
agree so much with what Erica said.
Yes, yes.
We have done a lot of outreach projects, but
Okay.
what we've done in the past is we had a project where we collected uh, clothing children from head to toe. So we had
Okay.
hats but we
Okay.
donated them to organizations. In the
Mm,
past we collect and we
right.
donate, but this time we're actually touching the
Mhm.
people. The Bible says to go into the
Yeah.
highways
Yes.
and the hedges, and so we're not taking the main street.
Right.
We're
Right.
going
Right.
off to the side streets
Right.
and showing that we care, we share and we help people.
I went listen when I got the note for this. I said this is so connected to our mission, and I'm very big on no one person can do everything, but if everybody does their part, right,
Mhm.
we're all
Yes,
connected.
yes.
So how can people connect with you and support you to further the mission that you are doing? Can they donate? Can they provide supplies? How do they get involved with what you're doing?
Well, we can. We are on the website, on Holy Redeemer's website, and so they can go to the website and connect with us that way.
Okay.
They can connect with us at the church at
Okay.
Holy Redeemer. We usually have a table in the hallway so people can come to.
They
and
gonna
connect
get you.
with
Like
us.
you gonna leave, you gonna go out to the restaurant and be like, hey, psst, come here, come here, come here, come here.
Right,
We got a
right.
project.
Right. We're just happy for donations. Now we have completed our donations for this particular project.
Okay.
And we collected so much stuff that we have some things left over that we're just going to give to the organization
Okay.
after we distribute tomorrow.
Okay. Now, I give us the times for tomorrow. Give us what that looks like, what the event looks, because I'll be looking on social media for the pictures,
Okay.
right? So I can
Right.
reshare.
So we're going to start at 11 a.m. tomorrow. Repairs of the Breach offers lunch daily to the unhoused between 11 and it goes to about 1.
Okay.
So we'll pretty much be out covering the lunch hour to make those connections with individuals.
Okay. I mean, again, I love it. Repairs of the Breach is one of the organizations that my sorority loves and donates to. So the work is so impactful. I think, especially in this city, you have organizations who do a lot of work, but it's from a distance. Right.
Yes.
It's so we'll give over
Right.
there. It's when you
Right.
put your hands in the dirt or you're
Yes,
making the
yes.
chili for the families and you're
Right.
serving it. That's a
Right.
totally
It
different
is.
level
It
of service.
really is, yeah.
As far as your organization, how do people connect with what you're doing if they love the mission? And I mean, because they came in here looking right, y'all. If you're watching the stream, they came in here. Look, I was like, y'all didn't get the memo. I wanna be put together too. How do people connect with your organization?
Well, you can email our organization at hrbpwf@yahoo.com.
Okay.
And I'll send you the information, the anything that any questions that you need answered can be answered through an email
Love it.
to me
Love it.
personally.
Look, I want to say Dr. Lawrence because I just feel
Oh,
like the
okay, I'll
educate,
accept
right?
that.
The knowledge, the information that you have to share. I feel it. I feel
Oh,
the
yeah.
energy. So if you are listening, please know that Outreach and Holy Redeemer do have a partnership and collaboration with the CH Mason Health Clinic.
Yeah.
And so again, we're connected to that mission. We want people healthier. We want to make families better. And most of the time that comes through health, that comes through wellness, taking care of ourselves and then giving back, right? That's the whole
Right.
purpose of the church is to give back. So you can connect with us 414-727-6320 on the website. You can connect to Holy Redeemer and the CH Mason Clinic. I will work this afternoon to put links up to this event and links up to the organization as well so people can get connected with you and all the work that you're doing. Share with me maybe just a couple things that you might have in the pipeline for the rest of the year with your organization. Is there any big event that you have coming up that you're connected, or is it just the everyday focus?
Well, we usually concentrate on maybe 3 or 4 events a year.
Okay.
And earlier this year, we had a hat event where we
See,
collected
Where is my
church
invitation?
hats.
Where was my invitation? 'Cause y'all know I keep a couple things in
because people a lot of women in the church wear these fancy
Yes,
church
Lord.
hats, and they're expensive.
Yes, Lord.
And so we we wanted to provide nice, beautiful hats for women who may not be able to afford it or may think that they can't wear a fancy church hat.
Right.
So we had a church hat drive where we had women donating hats from Chicago and Texas. They were sending hats to us, these big, beautiful hats.
Right.
And so on Mother's Day, we wanted everyone that wanted a hat to be able to wear a hat for
Wow.
Mother's Day.
Wow.
So that was the one of the events that we had. We have a coming up in August. We have a garden tea where
Ooh, look, let me sit up properly.
yes, we have a clothing designer that's going to have some models to come in, and we want to recognize some senior business women who may not get recognized often.
Okay.
Or maybe never.
Right.
But we want to recognize them at the luncheon. We
Okay,
call
what's
it
the
a
date
soiree.
for what time is
And
the
that's
garden
on
tea
August
soiree?
30th
Okay.
from 12 to 3.
Okay, and that's at Holy Redeemer.
It's will be at yes, it's at
the
Holy
camp.
Redeemer, but it's in Genesis Hall.
Perfect.
Oh,
So
and
listen,
then one more
I
thing.
need my invite for that.
Okay. I'll be sure to do that. In the fall, we
Mhm.
have a workshop.
Okay.
In October, we are going to. We're still working on it, but we're going to concentrate on trafficking.
Okay.
Women
Human
that's being
trafficking.
right,
Yes.
right.
Yes. I mean, another increasingly important topic in the city. And I think in some
Yes.
instances they might go hand in hand, where you look at people who might be on the verge of being unhoused, might be on the
Right.
verge of, and so
Yes.
you might be tempted to do something strange, right, for some change, as they say,
Right,
so
right.
that you can make ends meet. So I think it's a critical part. It's a
Mhm.
part we don't talk about enough.
Mhm.
So your proceeds will go to that particular event.
Right.
Okay. Well, yeah,
Yes.
I have to stay connected with y'all. If not only to up my fashion
Yeah.
game, I want a ribbon too. It'd be fabulous. But to make sure that we are plugged in to what you're doing and the good work that you're doing in the community.
Oh, okay, I
Anything
appreciate
else
it.
you want to share with our people? I'm looking at
Well,
your creed and
in our organization, I do want to recognize that we're Christian women,
Mhm. Mhm.
and we are not about. We do have a training, a national training once a
Mhm.
month,
Mhm.
where people from all over. We have some business and professional women groups in Brazil
Ooh.
and in Africa,
Ooh.
and they
Ooh.
tune in on our
Ooh.
Zooms. So we get a different perspective about
Sure.
businesses in different countries, and we want to emphasize that we're Christian women.
Okay.
We're about we like making money,
Mhm. Mhm.
but our focus is on giving to others.
I love that.
We realize that making a living is what we get, but making a life is what we give to
Ah,
others.
that listen, that's good stuff. And I think I'm looking at some of the materials you sent over. One of the points in it is it's good to be generous here on earth as much as possible. That piece resonated with me because a lot of people will get if they hold and they hoard,
Mhm.
Yes,
but
yes.
it's like a flow. You get, you
Right.
give, you get, you give. So I absolutely love that. And you said, listen, we get money. It's about abundance, right?
Yes.
But we make sure that we give back. So you've got your events coming up. You've got this event this weekend. People can donate to future events if need be. People can come in to the health clinic. Give me the address again, just so I have that, so people know
It's
where they're coming.
it's 3500 West Mother Daniels Way,
Okay. Okay.
53209, Milwaukee, Wisconsin.
And is there a phone number for that? I was looking
Yes,
at it.
it is.
Okay.
I had it on my other sheet.
Okay. Is that
Is
the
that the 414-466-1800?
Yes, that's it.
Okay, excellent.
Yes.
And then if you do want more information directly about Holy Redeemer, you can go to hrcogic.org
Yes.
to find out more information to that. Ladies, thank you for
You're
coming in
welcome.
and
Thank
sharing
you.
and
This is so exciting.
yeah, I mean, listen, and next time I'm gonna have my stuff together with y'all. So again, thank you so much. That is the purpose of this show. That is what that's really the nature of what we wanted it to be, to connect the community.
Yes.
So Ride Out is giving me the eye that I'm past my break. So let me get my life. Get it right on together. Ladies, again, thank you. I want to say
You're
Dr.
welcome.
Lillian, but Mother Lillian Lawrence,
Oh,
Coach
thank you.
Erica Odom, thank you so much for joining us today.
My
You are
pleasure.
listening to Community Heartbeat, presented by Outreach Community Health Centers. Not just a show, this is a movement dedicated to bringing our community together through wellness, keeping your heart pumping with positivity. I'm Ebony Ssali. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Community Heartbeat, presented by Outreach Community Health Center. It's not just a show. This is a movement dedicated to bringing our community together through wellness. Keep your heart pumping with positivity. I'm Ebony Ssali. Happy Friday. Yes. What we got?
Okay, so who done it?
Okay,
Dun, dun,
so
dun.
listen, Debo. We talked about sleep, right?
Mm-hmm.
At about 8:15 last night, the eyes start getting heavy. Like, hang in there, Eb. I was like, yeah, I got to text some folks. Let me text during the break to see who done it. It was very cute though. I will say I had never been to a detective dinner. They started off with, who did it. The lady came in. Oh my God, I got wounded. Who did it? Give us the clues. It was just a good time. But I will say, in addition to that, we honored 3 folks who have just dedicated their lives to community work. So we called it the Healthcare Heroes.
Mm-hmm.
And one was our very own living legend, Dr. Renee Suttle Robinson, our podiatrist. Just phenomenal women. Dr. Carla Wright and Dr. Enid Trotman were the 3. So I was kind of involved in that.
Mm-hmm.
I find out who done it. I was in bed by the time they probably announced that.
Wow.
I usually go to sleep before the Grammys announces album of the year. I'm on the website early, so I'll find out who did it.
No,
but it was a
please.
good time. We had all the leaders of the health community come out, so it was a good time. I missed y'all. I know. Let it go, Devo. Let it go.
Jermaine,
Yeah.
she texted me and said, "Hey, are you and Jermaine available Thursday
Uh-huh.
for our event? We may have extra,
Uh-huh.
text me or call me." So
He did hit me right back.
I hit her back and
Mhm.
no response.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. Listen, let me say.
and no response up until she said good morning this morning.
Oh.
And this was like Tuesday, Wednesday.
When
that's
I'm
what we doing, right?
listen, when I'm shady, I pull the shade all the way down.
All right, money.
Okay,
Tree.
it's super
So this
dark.
is the second time, man.
Hey,
You remember we
yeah.
missed the
I know.
dining with the doctors piece.
What I need is an assistant of an assistant of an assistant.
Oh.
Because in my mind, there's so much greatness. It's just
Mm.
the execution of
Yeah.
the greatness. So
Devo, I sense a whole bunch of
Should be a
malarkey.
protest. We should protest.
A whole bunch of
I
malarkey
just
going on in here.
protested to get you at Juneteenth, and this is
Yeah, that's right. She did.
Listen,
Devo, I'm on her side.
that's how they turn on you. That's how they turn
Wow,
on
just
you.
that quick, Jermaine.
No, I just turned back. Ebony, there's a lot of malarkey going on.
It
in
is
here.
a lot of malarkey and foolishness.
I mean,
And
that's twice.
shenanigans And,
Yeah, I know.
They say
Dining with the
twice is a pattern.
doctors.
Once,
Baby.
Now
Fool me
twice,
one time.
the murder
Shame on
mystery
you.
dinner. It's
3
just-
times a lady.
I know. I am. Listen, don't start. Don't start.
Man, don't you ever say we ain't come support.
This is true. But I will say this: next year we're gonna make sure Ride Out is at Juneteenth.
Oh, geez.
I'm gonna have 2
Oh,
seats for
she
y'all at
reverted
Dine
back
with
to that.
Dogs. I'm gonna
Girl, you
have
should
2
be a
seats.
politician. 'cause
You know what?
You sure know how to deflect.
I vote for Ebony. That's right.
Look,
Our
and
politicians are
he
upstanding.
just flip
citizens.
flop.
Yeah, man, I'm so wishy-washy. I don't know
Like
where.
a fish out of water. He just
Hey, man, it's
flipping
like-
all over the place.
Man, it's like the double dutch. You know how when you get ready to jump in the double
Yeah,
dutch?
right. You gotta listen. I can't jump double dutch. We actually I can turn though.
Oh.
I can turn. I was like, this is
Yeah.
math, this is rhythm, this is something that my brain is not connecting. But it's good cardio. That's all I'm gonna say about that. We have a caller this morning. Greetings, good morning, and welcome to Community Heartbeat.
Good morning, Miss Ebony.
Good
Miss
morning.
Angela.
Hey, Miss Angela, how are you today? Y'all listen,
I'm
Milwaukee.
good.
I got to see Miss Angela in person at Juneteenth. We were down there cutting up, acting up.
Yeah.
I have some goodies for you, but I'm gonna have to bring them back to the studio. But I got some goodies for you. I put them all together in my office. We are ready for you. So how are you this morning?
I'm doing well. You know, they didn't even know who you was. I kept trying to tell them who you. Oh, we don't know her. She don't work here. I said, well, she told me to come up there Friday. Her name Ebony. No,
Oh, she
we
talking
don't
about
know who
he-
she- we
you
don't know
is who
you
she was talking
But then
about.
I couldn't remember your name. But then
See?
Mr. Devo didn't know. Then Ride Out didn't know. Miss Michelle didn't know. And then when I heard you
If-
this morning, I said, Ride Out, that's her.
But Miss Angela,
Yes, yeah.
Miss
Yes,
Angela,
Mr. Devo.
let me explain to you why.
Oh Lord.
because
Okay.
you said she works for the station. Ebony does not work for the station.
I didn't
Works
know that
for
though till now.
community outreach.
I am
Right, sir.
family
So that
friend
was
of the station.
okay. So we just had a mix up, but
Yeah.
Because she kept
it's
saying this tall,
okay.
skinny lady with glasses.
Yeah, skinny. That skinny part, I'm working on. I'm
Oh
I'm
well,
working. You see how they do
you-
me, Angela?
Tall,
You see how
tall
they do
part.
me?
You working on that too?
Mr. Debo ain't skinny, so he need to sit down.
Okay,
No, no.
okay, Angela, you gonna get me marked in here today.
You'll be
okay?
all right. I'll come down there.
They gonna have me in the headlock during the break.
I'll be down there. Don't worry about it.
Yes,
I'll
No,
give
but
him an order.
It was so good to see you. I
You
posted our picture on my socials. And it was just it felt like a family reunion. My cheeks
Right.
were hurting from just the vibes of the good people. The outreach team was there. So if you stop by the table, thank you for stopping by and just having that moment of connection with everybody. It warmed my heart. For sure.
I'm glad I can do that.
Yes, indeed. So, like I said, I got some goodies for you. I'll head back to the station when the show is over, or the office, and then I'll bring those and drop those off so you can pick them up at any time. But it was so good to see you.
It was a pleasure for me too.
Yeah. So you make sure you mark your calendar for August 9th. And
that's the day, my birthday, August the 10th.
Man, so I might have to have a little cake on the side for you, because I do believe in celebrating folks while they are here, giving them their flowers. It's just a good time. Good.
Okay,
good time.
so August the 9th was I'm gonna just put Miss Ebony.
Yes, from 10 to 3, and it will be at Outreach, which is located at 220 West Capitol Drive.
Oh yeah, I got that on my calendar already.
See what I'm saying? Preparation
we got
is
Miss
key.
Michelle WNOV.
See, that's it. So it's coming out. It's gonna be a party. We'll have fruits, vegetables for the community. We'll have some giveaways. We have health checks. We're doing immunizations. We're doing lead screenings. We got it all. So and
Well,
and
is
I'll
there
be there.
anything I can help with? Do you need me to help do anything?
We need you to show up and bring that smile, and that's all we need. That's all
I'll
we
truly do that.
So I will see you then. Thank you so much for listening in today.
Yes,
and it's always good
All
to
right,
see
Miss
you.
Ebony. I
Love you,
and
love
you
you,
have
love
a blessed weekend, and I will see you soon.
Absolutely,
And
absolutely.
I'll be down there later, Mr. Ride out, Mr. Devo,
Yeah,
to get my goodies.
she getting her goodies.
All right then, Miss Angela. You get your goodies then.
Have a great rest of the day.
You have a blessed day too, Miss Ebony.
Yes. Milwaukee, I love y'all for real. I love y'all deep. Like life is good. Right out. Where is my? Let me see. Do I have? Let's see. Y'all acting up in the studio. Y'all are wild. Okay, so I did find out. Debo, the photographer, did the crime. So they had they plant clues around the room, and so they hem everybody up asking questions. And they had a photographer, crime scene photographer. And they asked him all the questions. So he apparently did the crime. So now we know who done it. Again, I'm working on self because my eyes just get heavy around 9 o'clock. I can't. But it was, like I said, good time again. Thank you, Ascension. Thank you, Anthem. Thank you, UMOS, for supporting our mission. Definitely appreciate you. Now we getting back to this health, because y'all tried to be slick. Y'all start talking about cake. Y'all start talking about just wilding out, staying up all hours of the night. We're not doing that, gentlemen. We are taking care of ourselves. So today I have 2 gentlemen from Outreach who are going to come in and talk about some of the things that they're doing to just stay on point, just to stay healthy, how they maneuver in high stress situations, how they stay connected to community. So I also want to hear back from you. So if you're a gentleman, you're outside taking care of yourself, give me 1 or 2 things that you're doing to stay healthy. So give me a call at 414-444-5250. And let me know what you're doing to keep your mind right in these challenging times. I will say this. I have made a rededication to fitness. When I leave the studio today, I've got some work to finish up, but I'm getting in a good afternoon of workout because we forget how much we're carrying. We forget how much our bodies are called to do every week. So that is how Ebony is challenged, but how I'm meeting that challenge for this week. So our guests, two of them, the first is Rodney Ivy. Rodney Ivy has over 20 years of experience working in community health centers in various executive senior positions at federally qualified health centers like Outreach Community Health Center in communities located in southeastern Wisconsin and Texas. Part of his personal mission involved evaluating the changing needs and developing strategies to better serve underserved communities, which include a high population of individuals of color and the underinsured. He began his tenure at Outreach Community Health Centers in 2015 as the director of clinics and provider relations, and was recently promoted to director of business development and grants in 2024. Let me pause there. Is Rodney ready? He's not okay. He has been able to utilize his diverse FQHC experience to provide support in areas of healthcare that has led to effective programmatic changes, allowing additional access to services, providing to access to service while reducing healthcare barriers, which plague the underserved and marginalized patients. He's committed to passing the torch, providing mentorship, leadership, career navigation to our future healthcare leaders of color. Now, this is the part he's going to want to like shout out. So I'm going to make sure I do this properly. I do this right because I don't want no static. At the end of the day, right out. Do I like static?
No,
I don't.
static.
I don't like static. I like peace. I like tranquility.
Mm-hmm.
So Rodney Ivy is a native of Racine, Wisconsin. He's an alumnus of Tuskegee University. I believe that deserves a hand clap. Let's get a man. That's Tuskegee, the legendary Tuskegee University, holding a bachelor's degree in science and sociology and master of science in health services administration from Cardinal Stritch University. So Rodney will be joining us here in just a second. We also have, I call him a fabulous guy. He works in our public safety. So public safety officer Chris Wilson will be here. And what I have noticed is this. Let me share this little story with you right out. People are watching even when you don't know they're watching.
Oh yeah.
Okay. I didn't know that.
Yeah,
I didn't know the eyes be watching.
Yeah.
And they be like locked in.
Yeah.
So we had a meeting this past week, and I love my Converse, right? My Converse of all types. So I had a pair of little sparkly Converse on. We walk out of the meeting, and we have a situation where a gentleman makes a comment about my shoes, and it just go all the way left. All the way. Now, Ebony is not speechless often. It does not happen often. But every now and then, I give a look like, oh, okay. So a comment was made. I look up, and I'm like, oh, okay. Public safety is not playing any games. They're like, what? We're going to hem that up and we're going to get that right together. So I am appreciative for the folks that are paying attention and watching, even when you don't know that they're paying attention and watching. I dig that for real. So shout out to my public safety team at Outreach Community Health Centers. It's not a game and there are no games to be played. Okay?
So you had top-notch security.
Listen, they don't play about Ebony. I didn't know that they don't play about Ebony, but I appreciate that greatly. So we got Rodney Ivy. I already gave them your bio. I already told them how amazing that you are. So to the director of business development and grants, I'm gonna give him a hard time too. Tuskegee alumnus, right? Welcome to the show, Rodney Ivy.
Morning.
How you doing? All right, so tell the people, we know what you do internally. It's Men's Health Month. We're talking about how men get it together, keep it together, provide the togetherness for others. What do you tell us what you actually do day in and day out at Outreach Community Health Center? I gave them the official version. What you really do at Outreach?
Well, I'm a servant and I'm here to serve. That's what I do on my job.
Okay.
I just have a title as business development and grants overseer. And in that role, I create partnerships, collaborations, wherever Outreach needs to expand its footprint in the community, trying to drum up new business, enhance what we already have. And we have quite a few partnerships and collaborations with various organizations, faith-based schools. And that's pretty much what I do. And I've been in this new role for about a little about a year and a half now, and been with Outreach for 9+ years.
Okay. So how did you get started in the healthcare field, right? So everybody kind of comes to it in their own journey. How did you arrive in healthcare?
Well, upon let's just go back to the 90s. When I finished school.
The 80s. Okay.
Well, it did start. Let me take it back to 68 when I was born, through the 70s and the 80s. But when I went graduated Tuskegee and returned back to Wisconsin, and I was working then at the time in social services.
Okay.
I always had a passion working in nonprofits, having a heart for it. Just the money wasn't there too, and just wanted to be able to make a little bit difference and impact. I always had a desire to work in healthcare, and I was actually studying occupational therapy to become a therapist, which then that transition led me into healthcare administration, where I got my master's from Cardinal Stritch. Couldn't get my footing or wings in Racine, and that's where I hailed from. But I was afforded opportunity by a wonderful brother, C.C. Henderson, who headed at the time, he oversaw Milwaukee Health Services. He was our CEO president, and he gave me an opportunity, and I started volunteering. Actually, about 3 or 4 months, I'd leave my job in Racine and come up to Milwaukee and sit in his urgent care in the evening, and we would talk, and he mentored me and offered me a job as a trainee. And from there, I took off. So I started off in operations and oversaw operations, did some developments and building projects we had on King Drive there, as well as the Isaac Cog Dental. That all fell under my wing. And then from there, I took a job many years. I spent about 8.5 years at MLK. And from there, I went to Texas and just been doing it. And it's, it found me and I found it. And that's, where God has me to be.
Okay.
Yes.
Listen, now Rodney is being humble in here, because when you walk in his office, he gonna let you know that he running the things. So when it comes to business and making the connections that make outreach continue to be successful, right? You're kind of at the helm of these different collaborations. So I know that there's St. Ben's. I know that there's Salvation Army. There's connections. The most recent one at C.H. Mason Clinic, right?
Correct.
So we just had 2 ladies in that are over at Holy Redeemer, again, carrying out the work in the community. So let me ask you, in all of these collaborations, this mobile health unit is school-based services. Just talk to us about maybe the connection of how you're looking to bring outreach's service mission, the thing that called you kind of to connect into the community.
Yes. As Ebony mentioned, we have several partnerships, and throughout all of those, really the basic bottom line is to bring the services to the people. We know no longer is healthcare access the way it was yesterday.
Even 5 years ago,
even
right?
5 years, 2 years ago, the landscape has changed. We now have to take it to the people, and especially our people here on the north side. So what we have now is, when we look to partner, I always look for what is it going to benefit us, our people. It's not just about the money. It's really about providing, our God-given right to just have health care here in America. So when we look at agencies and partner with them, look at their mission. If it aligns with what we're doing and what we want to do, we kind of start from there and the talks begin. So I don't know if I got lost up in the question.
I like it. So you were, I mentioned the detective dinner last night, and just the collaboration of putting the work that outreach is doing out in the community. I mentioned that it was a fundraiser, and it was fun. It was different. You were working, you were connecting the healthcare heroes. So I mentioned that just briefly. Tell me about how maybe all these events further impact the mission of outreach, right? So it's connecting the dots of the detective dinner, raising funds for the mobile health unit. The mobile health unit goes out in the community. Why is it so important to connect that care where people are?
Again, it's just going back to what we do and who we serve, and to connect them. And those events are with a purpose. So it's
so
not just about
a party.
No, it's not a party, just a party, but it's a purpose and more than just fundraising. But again, it's just to help support the programming that we're looking to do. So it's very important that we even recognize, like you mentioned earlier about our healthcare heroes. Really, that purpose of that event, it was a fundraiser for our mobile health unit, but all in the same, it also recognized 3 prominent physicians who have served this community for 80 plus years, and to give them their flowers while they're alive, because we all know times we're losing people left and right, but we wanted to make sure, and through their services, and 2 of them actually worked at outreach. So it was a bigger, it was a lot bigger because they invited their friends. They're part of Cream City, and it was a wonderful turnout. But again, it's always about just connecting the dots and how we can, better serve
the community. I love it. I love it. So when we come back from this break, we'll talk more to Rodney about the connections out in the community, what he's doing this Men's Health Month to stay healthy, and what you can do to connect with us and you can stay healthy. You're listening to Community Heartbeat, presented by Outreach Community Health Centers. Not just a show, this is a movement. I'm Ebony Ssali in the studio with Rodney Ivy. We'll be right back.
AURN News.
President Trump did not mention Juneteenth by name, but his post on the day the holiday was observed drew criticism for what it didn't say. On June 19th, Trump posted on Truth Social that America has, quote, too many non-working holidays, claiming they cost the country billions and that workers don't want them. He warned the U.S. could end up with a holiday for every workday of the year. The post made no reference to Juneteenth, which became a federal holiday in 2021 to commemorate the end of slavery. But many saw the timing as a clear signal, especially since the Trump administration offered no formal remarks or celebrations. When asked if the White House marked the occasion, Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt did not give a direct answer. Instead, she thanked reporters for coming to work and said the administration was working 24/7. By contrast, President Biden hosted a Juneteenth celebration last year on the South Lawn. For AURN News, I'm Jamie Jackson.
Here's a look at your updated forecast. For today, a lingering slight chance for a shower or thundershower ending early on, otherwise becoming partly sunny into the afternoon, high temperatures up to 84. For tonight, partly cloudy, low 60s. Saturday, ample sunshine with upper 70s for highs, but trending hotter into your Sunday, with a chance for some scattered showers and storms developing up to 92 degrees. I'm meteorologist Michael Caro on AM 860, The Voice.
This is Reggae DJ Ross Joel. Want to take this great precious time to give thanks to the Most High God, Jah Rastafari, for giving me the insight to have the opportunity to meet
Welcome back to Community Heartbeat, presented by Outreach Community Health Center. It's not just a show, this is a movement. I am Ebony Ssali. I'm in the studio with Rodney Ivy. Y'all, I feel like we need a separate podcast just for what happens during the break.
Man.
It just is wild. That's where the real conversation is at.
Right,
We can go down the DM. No, let's not slide in any DMs. Let's not do that. Let's keep it all above board. But no, we've been talking men's health. We've been talking about how Outreach Community Health Centers is going out in the community. So Rodney Ivy, director of business development and grants, put some respect on his name, okay? Tuskegee alumnus,
Yes.
okay, and just a man of the community. So we were chatting about the connections that Outreach is making, Salvation Army, St. Ben's, C.H. Mason Clinic, and then a couple other things that are happening in the upcoming years or so. So let me ask you, people want to support Outreach, right? I share with them, they can come in to get care, but there's also a different side where people might just want to give. They want to be connected. They want to support financially. So if people are interested in collaboration, how do they contact you, Rodney Ivy?
I am actually on our website. Contact information. Shoot me an email, give me a call, or if you can't find it, just actually call up to the clinic. They'll put you through to at least my voicemail, leave a message, and I would definitely follow up and see how you would like to help us.
Okay. That phone number is 414-727-6320. You can ask for Rodney, get dropped in his voicemail if he's not available, but just connect and find out how what you may be doing. Like I mentioned before, it is going to take each of us operating in our lane of excellence to kind of move forward. One of the big questions I have for you, you take cash donations online? Can we just drop some cash? Because listen, sometimes, I mean, I'm dedicated to getting in the soil and doing the things, but sometimes folks just want to give money. Can they just give money to the cause?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
They can go to the website, OCHC.
Tax donation.
Yes.
We can.
Listen, because
provide
the tax
that.
benefits, right? I'm not mad at
I
that.
think it's a 1099.
Look at it. That's if they want big money.
Yeah,
So
right,
they want to
right.
just
500
drop
more, I
off,
believe,
1,000, 10,000, 20,000.
We'll take 20,
Do
50, 100.
do
Yes.
what you need to do.
Appreciate
You can
your
donate.
support.
You can donate online at ochc-milw.org I believe it's /donations. So you can get that done. Now let's get into like the funding conversation. So I've tuned out of the executive orders. I've tuned out of some of the noise that's around what's happening from the legislative side, from the executive side. But funding is real when it comes to these FQHCs like Outreach. And there's a change in Medicare coming. There's a change in all of that happening. One thing that I'm appreciative of is how Outreach is stepping in the gap for people. If you lose your job tomorrow, you don't have health insurance, right? Which
Correct.
means you might be putting off those visits to the doctor. Tell me how Outreach supports folks that don't have insurance, they don't have money to pay for their services. How does Outreach stand in that gap?
Given the mission of FQHCs and what we are here to do, we have to see anyone who presents at our doorstep, regardless of their ability to pay. So if you don't have any money or have some insurance, but it only covers limited things, we will see you.
Okay.
We have sliding fee scale. If you have no money, we will ask for financials. If you can produce them, that's good. But if not, you still will not be turned away. We do have a discounted pharmacy program too, which is a 340B, and it's a federal program that allows us as a federal entity to receive and disperse drugs to the community at a discounted price. Those services are available to anyone who really comes to our doorstep. So again, that's why it's so important with the philanthropy donations and what we do with the fundraising, because I'm gonna give about 60-70%. We're grant funded, and a lot of that funds comes from the federal government. And keep in mind what's going on in the political landscape, not only locally and within our state, but federal, and that determines a lot. So we don't know what tomorrow may hold in terms of with Medicaid and cuts and money and grants. So it's important to, again, your donations and support. We really could use. But again, if you present at our door for our services, we have to see you.
Okay. So don't let the financial piece be
Please.
the reason why you don't take advantage and connect with these programs that are here for you. So let me switch gears. That's kind of the business side. The other piece of this is our focus of just men staying healthy this month. So let me ask you, Rodney, what do you do? We know we operate in a high stress environment. Lord, I had to do some extra self-care this weekend because I was like, I know I'm gonna be stressed out this week. Let me just meditate for a minute. How do you stay healthy? Whether that be physically, whether that be mentally. Now, let me say, right out be in the gym 24/7, 365. Bench pressing 7 million pounds per square inch. How do you stay healthy and stay well?
I used to work out, but I don't work out anymore as like I used to. But I'm trying to get back into the gym. But definitely walking.
Yes.
The whole meditation prayer is important. Being able to just pull away and meditate and pray a lot of times. And that's ongoing day in and day out. But definitely the walking, the working out. I'm not an avid swimmer, but I do like to, get in the pool and do some little aerobics.
You be in the water with the little floaties, right? I can't. I'm gonna have to Photoshop something up for that one. No. But it's important. So even if you just get up and go for a walk, that's the physical side. How do you stay well in the mental, the stress? You said prayer, you said meditate. Anything else that
setting boundaries. You got to know how to set them and with who and when, and sticking to it and not overexerting yourself. A lot of times we do that not only with our family members but within the job and trying to be there and do all this and that. It ain't worth your health and strength. The older I get, I don't have the energy like I used to. So I have to really make sure I'm setting boundaries to protect my peace. So that's key. And just being able to communicate, because effectively communication that plays a big part. Because a lot of times we hold stuff in, we don't discuss it until it gets to a point where it boils over, and then that can cause other issues and stress and drama. A lot of times you just have to, up front, just being able to communicate. And you may not be able to work it right out then and there, but getting it off your chest so that person knows that, you're feeling some kind of way, or this affected you, or, you just something that you feel needs to be brought to the light. It may not get resolved or addressed, but a lot of times I find that helps me.
Yeah. Listen, that word no, it's so small, but it's so powerful.
And I learned that from you, Ebony.
Look at here.
Yes.
What I will say this, and I learned this the hard way last year. I've shared this on this program. Last year, I literally worked myself into exhaustion, right?
Yes.
I worked myself into I won't say heat stroke because that has medical implications, but I was right there at the doorstep, right? So through the help of our chief medical officer, my sorors made sure that I got to a place where I was safe and could rest and recuperate. But it took me almost a month to get back to myself. So what I learned in that particular episode was, before you get to that point, you got to learn how to say no. You got to learn how to say, this is too much for me. And I think in our community, especially with Black women, I know with Black men, we tend to feel like we're the only ones that can do it. We're the only ones that can shoulder it. That's why I'm so big on the team, the collaboration, making sure that we're sharing the work, because burnout is real. Burnout is real.
A lot of Black men, as leaders in the family and the community, we take on a lot, and then especially within our families, and then, like I said, our jobs is a whole nother set of rules, regulations.
Let me tell y'all, the unsaid part. Rodney be like, Ebony is a lot to work with. She is a lot, and I get that, but it's a community thing, right?
It is.
I feel like in some instances, we know that our community has limited resources, right? So we know that if we don't do it, it very, very well may not get done.
Correct.
Right. And that's real.
It's up to us.
It is. So
Can't
I think
nobody else but us.
Yeah. We walk through it with kind of that thought process is, if I don't do it, nobody will do it. So if I sit it down for a minute, it won't get picked back up. But those boundaries are real. So figure out, I would say too, kind of what you want to accomplish in life. So it goes back to what I asked you earlier in how you got into this work. Sometimes it's by design. We say, I'm going to work in healthcare. Most times it's because you care about people,
Yes.
right? And you see the opportunity available. Let me ask you this. Is there a moment, like an aha moment in life where you said, this is exactly the career I'm supposed to be in? This is exactly what I'm supposed to be doing. And like it kind of came full circle for you.
You know, few times, yes.
Just hit me
Over
with a
my
couple.
20 some plus years in working in this field, I can just go back to days at MHSI and being given a charge to create a men's wellness day. I was a little younger and not really know how to pull the pieces together. But again, my CEO, Mr. Henderson, he pressed upon me that he knew I could do it. And, you know, he didn't give me a lot to work with, but just told me to pull it together. And I had to report in on what we were going to do, when and how. And, you know, he stayed on me. And, what, you know, and that was one of the first major projects that I did when I, like I said, got into the field. And it really showed me, you know, what I was capable of doing. Again, Ebony, it took a team of us. It was all men at MHSI who collaborated and partnered. We had a men's wellness day from about 10 to 2.
What y'all were doing in the men's wellness day?
Well, we
come on,
serviced the men. It was time for the brothers. We had a mental health, some Q&A and questions on your mental health and your wellness. We provided free haircuts. We provided lunch that day. We also we just had things like screenings and healthcare screenings that, you know, pertain to Black men, like our prostate screenings. We had blood pressure checks. I think at the time we were doing some PSA things, and yeah, that was a few years ago. But that,
so you bringing that to outreach? Is that what I'm?
Yeah.
I feel like next year.
Yes, it's time. It's time. Yes, it's time to reinvent the game. But that was one of those aha moments, and just helping people that come in that you know that could very well could be me and my family members, which we have used FQHCs for services when, you know, jobs have been lost. May have a job, but again, health insurance is underinsured. So,
it gets wild. It gets wild. And I've shared on this show too. I think it was about 6 months pregnant at the time, had my job, killing it. I got downsized and I was like, wait, I am wholly pregnant with a kid. Like, and it was like, oh, it'll be at least $5,000 before they even let you take the baby from the hospital, and the this and this and this and that. So that was a shock to me. And I ended up using a FQHC at the time just to make sure that my baby was born healthy. So the work is critical. Give me another maybe aha moment that you had where you're like, no, this is where I'm supposed to be. This is exactly what I'm supposed to be doing.
In my new role, this role was created for me. It was never, you know, at Outreach. I was director of primary care for about 8 years or so. And throughout that, from the work I did there, and a lot of it was, you know, just expanding our footprint. Again, you talked about the partnerships, collaborations, the mobile unit, the dental program that we had with Ascension.
Talk to us about that, because you would like, let's be clear. The dental program at Outreach is because of you. Like that came from
the work, and then again, it was a few others, but yes, that was, you know, my program and charge I'd been given by our former CEO that we needed dental there at Outreach. We didn't have it in it. We struggled for many years because we didn't have the space. We didn't have a dental clinic, and we had got some grant funding, but again, it just never really came together. My earlier years, between 2016 and about 2018, and then we formed a partnership with Ascension Dental because we had already a partnership with Ascension at the St. Ben's Clinic. And through that, they had a mobile unit, so they would bring their mobile dental unit up to our door. And would service our patients. From there, COVID hit. And when COVID hit, Marquette always had a dental school in our lower level of our 210 building on West Capitol Drive. At that time, it was located in the lower level. They vacated the space. We worked out agreement with Ascension. They have come in and set up in-house dental, so our patients don't have to worry about getting on a mobile unit, and we have full access in a newly remodeled dental space, which, you know, they can get full-fledged dental care. That was an aha moment, you know, to bring dental in, and it's just been a blessing to be able to offer that service.
see. I'm going to pull up
Mhm.
the dental piece here, just because one of the questions that people ask to and let me pause first to say
Okay.
shout out to you to making those
Thank you.
connections. I think
Thank you.
to understand how the teeth and the gums
Mhm.
affect your overall health, I think a lot of people don't make those connections.
That's
So
right.
having that in-house is one of the pillars of health I think is really important. With the basic services of the dental program, it's urgent care dental services, it's
Correct.
adult preventative care, it's child preventative care, it's the dental exams, it's the x-ray, it's cavity treatment, and very basic extractions. So you can make an appointment for the dental clinic at 414-727-6320, and the extension is 2317. And I'll just really connect the dots here quickly to say I did not understand until I was a lot older that gum disease creates heart disease. I never knew those two were together, right? So it's you could have undiagnosed dental issues that can actually lead to heart attacks. So don't take it lightly. Get the teeth cleaned. It's one of the least favorite things in the world is those cavities, Lord. But it's worth it. So it's better to pull the tooth. I had chipped the tooth some years back.
Yes.
It's better to get that bad boy just pulled and get an implant and call it a day.
If you got infections in your mouth, get those
yeah.
checked out. Don't run around just taking meds and meds. I
Yep.
mean, eventually, because that stuff gets in your bloodstream, can affect your heart.
Yep.
It's crucial and it's real.
Yep. For
Yeah.
sure, for sure. So you can make an appointment. I do know the dental clinic is closed on this coming Monday, the 30th. But if you do need to get care before that. So you brought in the dental clinic. That's one of the pillars. You talked briefly about the pharmacy, right? Making those connections to get cheaper medications. Why is that so important? Like to have medication that's not $5 million a pill.
Right. If you're already struggling financially,
Right,
and that's
right.
what we see a lot of times with people, it's between am I going to eat or pick up this medication,
That part.
or if I even have the money to afford the medication,
That part.
you're going to probably choose to eat, you know, and I'll just take a remedy or I'll take something over the counter when you really
Put
need
some
to be
castor
taking your
oil
meds.
on it.
Yeah, right.
Rub the
A
test
little
out it.
salve or something like that, or a sip on this or that,
You can't.
but it's important that, you take advantage. A lot of our times, if you're a patient of ours, and like I said, you can utilize our pharmacy, and we're a lot cheaper than your Walmarts or your CVS's. It's not that many Walgreens around no more, but we inhalers, for instance, those can be $200-300.
Yeah.
You can get those for maybe $15, $10, $20 at outreach. I'm not exactly sure on the prices, but we can provide
That's
that
a
stuff
lot
before
cheaper
you.
than 200, right?
Cheaper,
A lot
correct.
cheaper. And listen, breathing is important.
Yes, and asthma is real in our community.
That part.
Yes.
We've discussed that too on the show, just the connection of the environmental health, using the pesticides, using the pest spray, the roach spray, right, in the house. It gives asthma. Like that's been proven. So all of those things are important. What would you say drives you every day? So if we're talking about men's health, look, this is not on the script. It's not on the script. They come in the studio and be like, girl, you in here asking questions that ain't on the-" But let me ask you this. What is the one big impact piece that you see at Outreach where you look and go, I'm glad I work here? Right. So I'll give you a minute to think about that. And I'll share with you mine. One of the drivers for myself is I want to make sure that in our community, our marketing, our look, our polish, our intentionality is no different than a major agency. That is no different than you would see at a major health system. So I've worked at those major health systems. I work as an agency. And so part of my drive every day is to make sure that the person that's living in Tent City gets the same intentionality as the person that is paying $7 million for one Tylenol. I don't think there's any difference between the two. I don't think we should approach dignity any difference between the two. So that's what gets me, empowers me on the days where it's hard, when it's dark. Y'all know I don't listen. I have a difficulty getting here when it's dark and it's you ain't have to co-sign that so quick. But it's the mission driven. So what would you say drives you just personally to show up every day and do
just kind of ditto and echo off of what you said. All that what we do, our community service programs are so crucial and key. Again, these are my brothers and sisters and my family members, friends, who are maybe suffering from, housing issues, mental health issues, not only just the primary care, but like I said, the dental earlier. It drives me to make sure that, our doors stay open.
Yeah.
So we can provide and be that beacon of light, that hope, provide that service. Just for the community as a whole. Our targeted case management services that we have, and also the benefit assistance programs that we offer. For a lot of people, is amazing. People need to help but don't know where to go or how to sign up
or
for
which
stuff.
forms to fill out.
We would do that for you. Literally, our benefits team helps people with SSI, Medicaid applications, things of that nature. So that what drives me is just the work that, and I don't do it. And I'm not a practitioner. But again, I know that if I can make sure that we're, again, partnering, getting dollars in and things that's going to benefit and open doors and keep us going through my work, I'm fulfilled in that. The fact that I feel like I'm touching that patient, being able to help, that we can continue to serve and do what we do.
That's important. And I think, again, when we find like our true calling, right?
Yes.
You show up, you do it. So am I due for my break right out? Let me see. Because listen, he does not play about my breaks. Am I due for a break? Look, no, I'm good. Okay. Let me ask you this in connection to the work that you do, the passion, the drive. How do you stay on the right path? How do you stay focused when it's high stress? Because I think there's a physical part to men's health that we talk about, but there is a mental load, right? I shared with my husband last week. I was in a little tizzy. I was in a funk. I'm like, nobody carries the mental load that I do. Who's checking to make sure that all the supplies are in the fridge? Who makes sure we have seasoning salt? Who makes sure right?
Yes.
It's all those little things that you have to kind of keep in mind and keep at the forefront. So let me ask you, how do you balance the mental health piece of carrying community, making sure people are connected to care, and just living your life? Like, how do you balance that?
Having a tribe around you, meaning your tribe, whether that's your support systems, whether it's your wife, your family. I still have my father. He's 93 years old
Come
and
on,
young
Pop.
and
Shout out
still
to
hanging in there. My siblings, my lady.
Hey, look, Rodney quick to be like, outreach, this is my lady. We're like, welcome. Okay, this is important.
Just having a positive tribe that supports you. And again, you can't, I'm a man of faith, and my faith base, it means everything, and that's what really holds it. And we know who holds that, the key,
This
our Father.
True.
Yes,
this
so
is true.
my God, so
true.
that's very important, and that's what, when I'm at those levels of about to burst, and I have, exposed, I have to check myself a lot of times. The music does that to me too. I'm a big connoisseur of music. I love old school. I love gospel. I have to just take myself there to just, woo-sigh and reground and, focus.
No, that's huge. So we're gonna get into that, because again, I don't think we spend enough time in just making sure that our fellas in the community are all right. So I think there's a very surface level that's like, how you doing? You good? But it's not making sure that people feel well and whole. So we'll tackle that when we come back from break. You are listening to Community Heartbeat, presented by Outreach Community Health Centers. Not just a show, this is a movement. Ebony Ssali in the studio with Rodney Ivy, Director of Business Development and Grants. We'll be right back. Community Heartbeat.
Too late, too late, too late.
Paddle the canoe.
You and Rodney both.
You just never know. You just never know about the people. Welcome back to Community Heartbeat, presented by Outreach Community Health Centers. I mean, the heart is pumping with positivity, and that's all you can say. And just know that help is there if you need it. That's all I can say. I will work on in 2026. We doing a behind the heartbeat. It's gonna be the behind the scenes conversations because we gotta let Milwaukee in on the things that we're talking about. In here we're talking
You
men's
mean
health.
when the mic's supposed to be off?
Yeah, Lord.
Yeah, those
yeah,
are the
Lord.
conversations right there, boy.
I will have to do a disclaimer. Anybody that's in my family, tune out. This is not what you want to hear. But I will say the focus of this show was really meant to talk about specific health disparities that are more prevalent in our community. So one of the things was access to healthcare and making sure that we're programming this show with professionals month to month to month to month to month. The other piece is alcohol. It's one that we don't talk about. I've shared my love for the vino, and we have to respect that not everybody has boundaries. So alcohol abuse is real in our community, like real. And we have to step up and make sure that we're looking at that, analyzing it. And if you feel you're at the point where it is too much, come on over to Outreach, get some assistance with that. In addition to the alcohol, you have drugs and you have just overdose. So we were talking during the break about an instance that we had here in the community, and overdose is real. I connected to mental health and the coping mechanism. Like life is hard. And I try to make sure that my daughter understands that life is hard for everybody. I don't care how you dress it up, jazz it up, make it look good. Life can be hard for everyone. And so if you tend to utilize drugs to help make that better, you find yourself in a gray area that can lead to overdose. So that's one of the health disparities we work with. Violence. Okay. So that's it. They all kind of work together. You get the violence piece when I think it's because people feel like they're not heard, right? So you tend to be elevated when you feel like people don't listen to you at your regular base. And then just mental health. So making that connection to make sure that we have a space, we feel well. So those are the things that this show was meant to focus on, work through. And then Rodney, you are working in business development. So your goal is to make sure these things are funded well.
Correct.
That the organization has the proper funding to do the things that we want to do out in the community, right? So he's the money man. If you got the money and you looking for a place to drop it off, OCHC is the place to do that. Call Rodney Ivy, 414-727-6320. You can leave them a message or connect with them, right?
Correct.
That's what we do.
Exactly. And it's also about the grant pieces. If you have grants and you think we'd be a good fit to partner and would like to just discuss that, that's I welcome those and entertain those conversations because a lot of times that's how things and partnerships begin. You're doing something phenomenal in the community and we have another aspect, we could enhance that. Why reinvent the wheel? It's all about, collabs and partnerships. So, hit me up there too.
One of those collaborations that's coming to fruition, I mentioned briefly, was the Healthy Starts, Healthy Hearts program. So very briefly, we got a grant to assist with new moms, new families, new babies, because Milwaukee does have an extremely high prevalence of infant mortality. Our babies are dying. And when I say our babies, y'all know exactly who I'm talking about. It's hard to be a Black child. We've had Wanda Montgomery in talking about Black child development and just making sure reducing those barriers. So we got a grant to help new moms. I put in new dads too, because I think we don't support that enough, right? True. And I mentioned that before we went to break. We just kind of assume that all our men are strong. We assume that all our men are good because they're men, right? We don't check in with them. So we're doing an event at Outreach on July 30th, which is called Healthy Starts, Healthy Hearts. And it's really meant to just wrap the resources around new families so that these babies have an opportunity to grow and thrive in our city. So that's one of the things that your grants do. How else are you approaching the health disparities? So we mentioned a couple at the top of this segment. What else are you doing out in the community? or looking for funding, I should say. That's the other piece.
Again, the mobile health unit is crucial and critical. We do have a mobile health unit that we partner with, like Pathhouse Guests. Pathfinders Guest House, West Milwaukee Comprehensive Care, where that unit actually goes out and provides services there. That unit needs to be funded and has to, in order to do what it needs to do, because we have people that would like to work with us and have that unit come. So we have to make sure we have the funding, the supplies, the providers.
And it's like a full unit. So like there's an exam room on the mobile unit.
Correct.
I know we had it out at Juneteenth. Yep. So people could come. So we did like the diabetes screening. We did the wellness checks on the unit. Yeah.
And some things like that. Yeah. So we get a lot of organizations who would like to, utilize that unit. But again, funding is so crucial there. So that's one of the bigger things. We have grant funds to do immunizations and vaccines. That's usually from the state level, and also the federal, where we get grant dollars to be able to do those programs, not only in-house, but again, on the mobile unit. We've done some things out in the community where we've done some immunizations and vaccines. So
it makes a difference. It makes a difference. So we do have a caller. Greetings and good morning. Welcome to Community Heartbeat.
Good morning, lady.
Good morning to you. How are you?
This is Rick calling you long distance from Germany.
From Germany. What's going down in Germany? Can we just get into that for a second? How you doing?
I have life. I have a good wife. I have a mother-in-law.
Well, you richer than 80% of the population right there, just with those three, right? Right.
Yeah, but I just want to say that your comments on alcohol abuse are real. I am using alcohol as medicine against intestinal parasites, and the alcohol is killing me. My teeth are also rotting.
Yikes.
So I want to say to the young men and the old men, the middle-aged men, take care of your teeth.
Yes.
Because once they're gone, they're gone.
Yes. Yes. Very,
I'm
very,
done.
very true.
I'm done, sis.
We appreciate you. Listen, stay strong, stay healthy. Do what you can with what you got. That's sometimes that's where we are. So we appreciate you listening in from Germany. Thank you for taking the time to connect with us. I did not understand how vital teeth were to health. So when we look at we love to say things like, well, heart disease runs in my family. Well, just getting your teeth cleaned twice a year. I do twice a year. I know once is the annual recommendation, but I will say go in and get them done twice a year, right? That buildup can get into your bloodstream and can block your heart. Like that's real. That's medical fact. That's not hyperbole. That's real. So take time to do that. And like Rick said, once they're gone, they're gone. And can I get it? Let me just pause. Do y'all know how expensive implants are for your teeth? Let me tell you. One tooth is like $7,000. So you could brush the teeth every day, or you could spend the $7,000. I'ma guess that look, I had second round of braces last year, 5 stacks. It's not cheap. Easily. It's not cheap. And I could have just wore the retainer. So now I'm like tired, hassly. I'm like, put the retainer in, right? Just make it happen. So do those basic things. Nobody wants to get up and walk when it's 97 degrees. I don't. I want to be sitting in the cabana getting fanned and being fed fruit. That's what I want to do. But you got to get up and walk. You got to get up and walk. Milwaukee, they cutting up in here, okay? They cutting up in here. We don't want to eat the broccoli. I say that often. That's not fun. The steak tastes better, but we got to do the things that we need to do to keep ourselves healthy. So let me ask you this, Rodney. I know we have an employee fitness center inside of Outreach. Correct. I walk by it most days. I look at it and then I keep stepping. I said I'm gonna get a walk pad. I need to get like a movement while I'm in the office in the back-to-back meeting. But let me ask you this. how do you stay active during the workday? Because we got the meeting to the meeting to the meeting, and then the meeting, and then it's the pizza and the fruit tray. They do give us the fruit tray, but the pizza is easier to eat, right?
Yes, it is. We had that yesterday.
Right. So how do we stay? I know I walked in there. I was like, okay, so this is what they do when I'm on a hybrid day. They had a full buffet. Okay, when they know that I'm not working, but I'm gonna let it slide. I just want to put that out on the airwaves though, so that they know how y'all treat me. No, do water consumption, exercising. What are you doing during the workday?
The workday, the water is very important. And just getting up periodically, hitting their staircase if you don't want to go outside and walk, but we have plenty of stairs and outreach, utilizing those. Just walking to different floors internally or either outside now that it's nice. There's a walking trail not far from us a lot. We even have walking groups with our wellness committee. So and that's every Wednesday. So I haven't joined them, but
right. It's like I'm there with you in the spirit.
But you have to get up and move around. A lot of people have the ergonomic desk that where you're standing instead of sitting. A lot of us are stationed a lot, 70-80% of our job, we're sitting at that desk and you're stationary, but having those ergonomic ones where you stand up and moving in circulation, and that's key. Posture is, I didn't know until I experienced sciatic nerve about 7-8 years ago and had it back to back and couldn't figure out. It was a lot of just sitting in incorrect posture and sitting all day and at that computer and with my eyes, all of this, it's workplace wellness, with the even the computer screens when you're standing there looking, making sure you got the filters or the glasses with the UV protection and various things. And that chair is so important. Ergonomics is, so you have to take all that into account, but getting up and moving,
that's it. I set my watch to have me get up every 2 hours, twice an hour to get up and walk. So there are days where I will literally sit and forget to get up and walk. So setting those reminders to yourself. I will say outreach is solid on the water piece. Sometimes I forget, and it's like every couple feet you got water stations. So
we actually have a wellness building, this new building that we have, our new if you haven't been there, please come over and check us out. We closed our 7-Eleven site, which is literally just 2 blocks up from our current location at 220 West Capitol. Our new location, our new building it was deemed a wellness building. And we have to have water and various
natural light,
natural space, natural lighting, like I said, water, fresh fruits that we put out in the break rooms for the employees. So it's all about wellness and for the employees. So that's
I like to say I'm like a house plant, right? I need the light. I need got big windows in my office, right? I need the water. And you gotta talk nice to me.
Corner office. So she has panoramic windows, you walk into the Queen's suite.
The Queen's suite is that we're calling it. Listen, y'all, I'm in a basement. No, I can't. It's a beautiful space. And that's one thing when I came to tour the building, I noticed. I mean, you got live plant walls throughout the space. You have the natural light, you have the water, and the energy is right. I'm a big energy person, right?
Outdoor patios and green space outside where we can, take breaks.
So y'all come see about us. Y'all come see about us. We got a garden, community garden. I'll be putting some pictures up on that. I walked into the office the other day and a group was I think they're planting kale and peppers and tomatoes and all of that so that they can share that out with the community. So it all matters, no matter how small the step. Because some days I'm like, look, I just need to stand up and go get water today. That's all I got some day. And then some days I'm like, I'm doing chair yoga in my office. Don't bother me. But it's all connected. Let me ask you this, Rodney. If somebody's listening and they're like, I like that guy, I want to do what he does. How do they maybe walk in your shoes? How do they get started in a health career? How do they position themselves so they can be a health champion, health advocate?
Quite a few ways. Again, I had to go the route. I went to school, went back and got my master's and just couldn't get opportunity, like I said, until I met Mr. Henderson at an event and he offered me to just volunteer. And people discount that, but that is so valuable. It really allowed me to just kind of sit back and observe the various functions. There's so many Oh, there's just so many things that go on with healthcare. What we're conditioned to see, what going to the doctor, the nurse, the front desk, but behind the scenes is where it goes down. I mean, there's, you got your marketing, like Ebony here. You got your operations pieces. You got your security pieces. A lot of things that we don't think about. All those need to be ran and operated, and that those are jobs. Someone's doing it. The ordering, the paying the bills.
Yes. The finance piece,
the finance pieces, all of it, exactly, all of it. So, maybe starting, like I said, volunteering or through your institution, higher ed. If there's any opportunity to intern or externships, a lot of times it just comes by, taking opportunities. If you're in there, say working as a medical assistant, and you go back, become a nurse, and opportunities for management, and you just kind of grow, with the company or get the experience, and then take it and run and go, where someone will afford you to, go into the area that you may be interested in. There's no clear-cut path. You just have to kind of carve it. Yeah, you just got to get started and take those opportunities, and don't despise small beginnings.
That part.
Because God knows, I was you're not making a whole lot, but it was just the opportunity. Is something I wanted to do, and look at me now.
Yeah. I will say that I got into marketing. I did a flyer for an event that was happening at Marquette, and up until that point, I was like, "Oh, I'm gonna work for a New York agency and have my Listen, I had my convertible in my mind. I was like, I know exactly what I'm doing. I did this flyer, and that created an entire career in health care marketing and healthcare leadership. So that's my jam. So we appreciate you, Rodney Ivy, Director of Business Development and Grants, keeping us focused, keeping us on mission is what I would say. That we appreciate you for doing that. But look ahead to our next show. We will have a guest host. So hey, Dr. Claycool, thank you for stepping in and hosting our show in 2 weeks, July 11th. We will have 2 of our board members coming in to talk about the health fair that's happening on August 9th. So again, don't blow my phone up 2 days before talking about you don't know where the health fair is, because I'm telling you, August 9th at Outreach Community Health Centers, there is an opportunity for you to come by and get connected. On Friday, July 25th, we will have Matthew Johnson in the studio as a preview to the Men's Health 5K that's happening on July 26th. We are still looking for people to run with our team. So if you are into fitness, into activity, and looking for a way to spend your Saturday, get connected with us so you can run with our team. And then for the balance of the year, more health topics, more knowledge, more education, more Ebony Ssali. I mean, I don't know if that's a good thing or not. What you got for us, Rodney? Any last pieces for us?
To my brothers out there, please make sure you get your regular screenings. Do lifestyle modifications. You're not going to be able to do everything all at once. How do you eat an elephant? By bits and pieces. So, if you got high blood pressure, get to the doctor, get checked out, get a full panel blood workup done. And it will. I actually did that, and I work in healthcare, but I've been neglecting myself. Went about 6-8 months ago, we had a full panel blood draw workup, and found out, that I had a couple things going on that I not done that, I probably would never known. Just making sure you address, your needs and communicating with a provider. If you don't have one, please come to Outreach. Because diabetes is rampant, stroke is rampant, prostate cancer is rampant in us, in our population, and taking care of your mental health, and AIDS, HIV is still prevalent in our community. So
we got screenings for that too, gentlemen. If you're gonna be outside, make sure your tires got some tread. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. No, it's serious. So we gloss over it, but I think it's huge.
It is. It's real.
Rates are going up around the city, around the country. So get tested, get screened. Anything else you want to share with the people?
I don't know if heart disease too. That's number one with us too. So other than that, thank you.
Yes. Community Heartbeat. Again, this is meant to be a moment for Milwaukee, a moment of wellness, to make sure that we're taking care of each other. You are listening to Community Heartbeat, presented by Outreach Community Health Centers. Not just a show. This is a movement dedicated to bringing our community together through wellness, keeping your heart pumping with positivity. Thank you, Rodney Ivy. Thank you, Ride Out. Thank you, Devo. Milwaukee, do something great this weekend for yourself and for somebody else. Have a good one. We'll see you in 2 weeks.